Oh, wow. I clearly have forgotten what I need to do for this thing. Give me a little bit. Alright. Checking. 1, 2, 3. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, pu, la, no, na, pu, sol, fa, mi, ra, do. Awesome! A man with no knowledge of his past must delve into his past and find out what he needs to do in the future. That's me, Soprano Onobdy. Anyway, I really gotta stop saying anyway. Well, for one thing, I need to make sure to replace the batteries that are inside my recorder. I've been using that as an audio journal for the past 2 weeks. Been getting good at that, that's for sure. And it's a way of improving my communication skills. So, today, after so much deliberation with HighKey and the timing of things related to community theater and whatnot, I finally get to repair, well, more like reshell a GameBoy Advance. It has been a long time coming for this thing. And for one thing, I have no idea how long it's going to take. I did look up some tutorials on how to deshell it and reshell it. But I'm gonna get straight right into it and go to the webcam. Nope. Allow me to introduce you to a new plushie that I got a few days ago. This is apparently a crossover between Hatsune Miku and SpongeBob SquarePants. Say hello to Doodle Bob Miku. Doodle Bob Miku... well, Doodle Boy does the whole mio hoi mignoi. Let's see if I can recreate it despite being sick after about a good week. Mio hoi mignoi! What would Miku sound like if she did that? It's a thought in itself. Now, this is going to be difficult because one, I have to readjust the microphone to go all the way over to the crafting table. Well, I guess I could call it a crafting table because I can lift up the bottoms of the panels. And then there is also the issue of making sure they don't make too much sound. You know what? I'm gonna mute this. Give me a bit. Okay, that puts us... hello everybody. That puts us closer to Doodle Miku over here, and more importantly, the place where I'm going to be doing all of the disassembly and reassembly stuff. Now, let's say hello to the old Game Boy Advance. This thing right here. Had to tape it up here because there were some really difficult markings to get on there, and thank goodness you won't be able to see it. You know, let's change up the brightness a little bit. There. Game Boy Advance, working stuff. You know what? I need to get the, where's that game that I put on there? There was a game I had on there that I wanted to show to confirm that it actually works. I could have sworn I left it with it. One moment. Well, before that, we can look at a little bit further on what I'm going to be reshelling it into. This old piece of work, scratched up screen, showing well in its age, that's for sure. And this is what I'm going to be replacing it with. This little baby right here. From an opaque turquoise to a more transparent purple. You've got a place for the batteries right over here, as well as this part right here for, I think, a cable. Let's see. We have some spare screens meant for the front as well as screws. And likewise, we've also got the innards as well. We have the innards for, well, it looks like we have the innards for both the A and the B button. Well, let's take it out first. We got the innards out for the A and B buttons. Just make sure to get them all out on the gray mat so we don't lose any of the pieces. We have our L and R. We have, I believe this is located in the back of somewhere. And this would be the grips on the sides. This would be the left and the right. Well, yeah, this would be the sides. And these are the buttons. And of course, I think the thing that we are... And they also have some replacement pieces, such as this grill right here, which is meant for the top, and then there's membrane pieces for the AV buttons and start select. Even comes with its own set of tools. But after looking through some of my electronics and whatever inventory that I currently have, I have this. Not sponsored. Let's get right into it, but I am feeling cramped. I really need to get a pillow or something for this. Ooh. With a minimal amount of tutorials, let's see if we can't work this out carefully. First things first, we gotta take out all 6 of these screws right here. Can really see well in its age. You know, this would work better if I had shown the before and the after in this case. But we will do as we darn well please. Starting with getting all this out. And we'll snap those pieces out later. Okay. It's all tri-wing screwdrivers. Tri-wing is over here. Oh, this is going to be difficult because I do not have access to my keyboard at this time. I'm in an entirely different setup at this point. So we find the tri-wings, which are... We'll find the tri-wing, which is this one right here. These are the tri-wing. These are the tri-wings. I think we can do with Y0. That's... Yeah, this is good, that's good, that's good. Excellent. Okay. Let's disassemble this thing right here. Is it too small of a thing? No, it shouldn't be too small. And you know, for the sake of keeping things in perspective, let's remove some of the parts here. One screw out. If I could just get this out. It pays to magnetize these things because one, you are dealing with metal items and it should be easier to get this stuff out. You know, maybe I ought to unscrew all 5 more of these so it'll be a lot easier to scratch out. And of course there is also this Phillips screwdriver in the center over here. We'll make this easier. Let's adjust the microphone so that I put it a little bit closer so you guys have a little bit, hear more about me, more of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the 7th screw in the center will be the Phillips right there. We'll swap that out. And then we'll get a 0. That's probably too big for that. Let's do this. All right. Everything should be loosened up, and we should allow ourselves to get into the insides. Might have to be careful because there might be something inside here. Ooh, so much grime and dust. We'll just slowly pry it open, taking care not to damage anything on the insides. Small movements, no jerkish-like movements. Still need to get the tri-wing off of this one. And there's the insides. We'll keep these screws inside here just to make sure that they're safe and secure. And we'll put you right over here. You will be a reference. Well, you will be a reference as to what I need to do whenever I put the bottoms of the... Oh no, that's bad. I got it back! Ugh. Scary enough that I don't want to lose that piece. Okay. Now, next thing on the list will be the screws that are located here, here, and I believe there's a third screw right over here, but I think that might have been removed. Oh, no, that screw's located over there. Huh. Peculiar. Oh, that's so peculiar. Now we know where that goes. And then... well, as much as I want to remove everything else, I gotta consider how I'm gonna reassemble everything else, because there's the L and R buttons over here. You know what? Let's do it. Let's see how that looks, though. So the L and R buttons, the L is to the right, the R's to the left. It's connected at this point, and it looks like... Huh, interesting. There are no springs in this thing. It's just a piece. It's just two pieces of metal that are probably just pushing on something, and the L and R buttons are right here. Surprisingly clean. All right. Now, our motherboard is connected to the the screen through this right here. This ribbon cable. Now we're going to gently, let's move this out of the way. Gonna gently push on this thing right here. And we'll push on the opposite side. Oh, be careful not to ruin the light on this one. You push on that, and it should loosen the cable just enough to allow it to come out. And if we really wanted to, we can put one of the drill bits out here and steadily get it loose. There. You remove that, and it should just only be the screws that are located on this board. There it is. This is the tri-wing. Now we're going to remove the screws gently, because this is a delicate piece of equipment, because we're reaching the innards on this one. We've already removed the ribbon cable from that, and that should be all the screws that are holding this thing in place. All right, let's be sure. Oh, is there a third screw anywhere? No? Okay, let's be sure. This belongs here. that belongs with that. We're gonna replace the screws anytime soon, but let's make sure that we at least get the motherboard out. And that is one lovely motherboard. Let's turn it over slightly to see what's on the back of this thing. And what's... Ugh, man, that poor speaker needs a good cleaning. Thank goodness it's not a microphone. I doubt they brought any brushes for this thing. But we're good. And we're gonna be using the same screen on this one, just to keep things within the same tech. And surprisingly, look at it carefully, the batteries, especially this part right here, and I guess if we consider the other... Oh, whoa, no, that, careful. Consider the other part of this thing right here, if it connects over to, well, let's see if I can't look at it carefully. I think we'll be fine. Let's make sure we put these in a safe spot. Okay, this belongs there. Oh. Come on. So it looks like that metal piece on here also goes to this part right here, since it helps supports the whatever in the bottom right it is over there. Very interesting. All right. Use you as reference. But then afterwards, we got to make sure we match everything at this point. I think the adhesive is weak enough that would allow us to pry open this part right here. Man, the age on this thing, it's slightly daunting. Okay. Yeah, let's put it right there. Okay. And I think we'll have a good general idea on where to put all the membrane stuff. So we can start stripping this thing and putting it. And you know what? One of these days, when I've finished off with the community theater project that HighKey has me set on, I would love to do a teardown of this. I mean, sooner or later, once I get a new screen for this thing, well, a new screen for this, I'd like to put the old screen and then use it, put it in a frame of some sorts. But for now, I think this will do. Okay. Probably the only thing that's being supported by a membrane. Are you kidding me? It's like 2 udders. Alright. Gotta be careful though, because this is the most important part. If I break that, then there goes the rest of it. There goes me replacing it and actually doing a teardown sooner or later, and not being able to play it. I'm scared. I am very unsure how to do it. Let's see. I think there is an indent on the side that we can lift over. But then again... Yeah! Yeah! I'm scared! I don't want this to break. I really don't want this to break. I would love to make use of this thing. Unfortunately, maybe I need to remove this padding over here. Come on. Come off it. Ugh. These situations make it really stressful. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's a ribbon cable underneath. Gotta be careful. Gotta be really careful at this point, because I think if I pull it too hard, it might rip up the bottom cable. there's a way that I could get this screen out. Maybe I need to prop this out some way. It's the most difficult part of it all. I'm sweating over it. Sweating bullets. Oh, please. Let's see. I hate doing this, but it has to be done. I'm gonna have to bend a corner of it and then prop the pry tool and then get it inside there. Or if I can just massage it. Oh yeah, that's right, the tutorial video. There's an adhesive located on the, there's a rubber thing on the perimeter. If I could just get that to loosen. And then, once it loosens, then I could lift it up entirely. I hate doing it though, because it's gonna, okay, it's metal on plastic, so that should be fine. Okay, come on, come on. Okay, almost. Ooh, good grieving, I don't want to break this thing. I want to give this screen a new home. Okay. Yes! There it is. And then slowly pry it off. Slowly pry it off, and bam, bam, I got it. Look at this thing. It's so beautiful. Careful not to reflect my image. Don't want to show myself off too much. But this is the screen that goes to the Game Boy Advance. Alright, it has been deconstructed. Deconstructed to the best of my abilities. Now it's a matter of getting the other parts in. Let's see. Pry tool, we have our drill bits right over there, I think. Wait, where are they? Oh no, don't tell me that I removed it. Okay, one of the drill bits is right over here. That's good. Now where's the other one? Where the devil's the other one? Please tell me I'm not missing the thing. Dang it. You know, is there anything on this part right here? No. That's good. That should be fine. Stressful. Very, very stressful. Okay. Take a quick break and see if I can't find that other one. Where is that other one? And we'll use this adhesive because it still works. This thing right here, the corner, we'll still use that. We're gonna keep it right there for the time being. We will find out where on earth the other, well, the tri-wing is, but right now we can focus on getting this done. Right, let's bring up the new one. We already know that this part isn't affecting any other parts right here, so we will put this end first. We could probably use we could probably use pieces from this thing right here, but it's a-oh good. Alright, this thing is attached to... Huh, that's interesting. The replacement metal pieces also include a buffer for the L and R buttons right here. These pieces right here, but I don't think I need them. Yeah, I'll probably use them just as a reference. Let's get this thing attached. So, this thing right here, in this lip, it's a bit bent, but nothing but a few, I wonder if, where are those other smaller screws? Here it is. Let's see. We could probably get these, we could probably just replace these for the heck of it. Let's do it. better not to waste. And you know what? We could honestly use this grill right here because the dimension shouldn't be too different from the other ones. Interesting. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. So you belong right here. And you are right over here. Come on. Then use the magnetism of that one to set that in. Yeah, not too bad. Could be a little bit more steadier, but that's what that's what the screws are for. Okay, let's see. Now, this part right here, let's remove this thing right here. I know that we're going to need to attach this button right over here. We'll have these two pieces in this section, left-hand side. Okay. And we're facing it right here, and this thing. I think it goes like this. Oh, wait, hold on. This part's right here. And we need to make sure that it's flush in there. So I gotta make sure that it's like this. Like that. And then into the bottom right here. Come on. Intricate details, and then hook it right onto the bottom right here, and boom. A little bit of a pushing in to break in that, and then that goes slotted in here. All right, there's the other half of the battery. Hopefully that holds, because I had it centered in this thing. All right, let's make sure that it closes too. Okay, we're good. So that covers the back. Now, let's get the front. Our buttons in matching order. Let's see. There's this thing right here, the D-pad. Well, maybe we can nip it a little bit. Nothing but a good nail filing, quite literally. And I don't think there's any difference with regards to how it would look, because it's all gonna come up the same. All right, and let's use the new parts for this one. We've got a membrane for each one. And this membrane... Oh, sure. Up, sure. Okay, and then this goes to here. Well, I think it goes to... Well, let's make sure that it connects to two sides specifically, because I think it's this one right here. Okay. wait. Oh, here it is. There are 2 indents on the top of here that denote how to correctly place it. There's one right here and one right here. So that's down, up, down, left, right, that works. Next, the A and the B button. It's a nice little snap and release. And we'll do the same for the other one. And I really ought to remind myself, now that I've already disassembled this thing, I think the B button is closest to the screen, the A button is furthest from the screen. So it would be like that, and this. So if we turn it over a little bit, taking care not to ruin the initial work. This is the B button, and that's the A button. Now with respective membrane. If I could just struggle it out on there. All right. Okay, this is the... It helps that we know that the triangle-looking things, at least the things that stick out of it, correspond to which one is A and which one is B. Now, something different from the start button membranes from the original one is that we are given actual membranes and little tiny buttons for the start and select buttons. Okay. There's a part of me that wishes I had a nipping tool. Would definitely sand things to a nice grind. I think the problem though is, well, maybe we could use the, you know what? As much as I want to utilize these 2 buttons right here, I think I'd do best to keep the original membrane. For one thing, it still fits. Just look at that. It fits like a glove using the attachments here, and that's a matter of... And hopefully it works, else I'd be deconstructing it yet again. So we're getting a little bit of the mixture of the old and the new. Now, next piece on this list, we are going to attach the rubber on this thing. We got the rubber right over here. Taking care not to rip it too badly. And then we're going to attach it. Gonna attach it like this. Hopefully it covers the perimeter of the inside over here. Let's really get down to it. Ooh, it's already sticky enough to work with. Okay, we'll work on the corners and then work the perimeter. Okay, there's that. There's that corner. We will get the next corner as soon as I get this. There's that corner. And adjusting to get the last corner right there. Okay, I think this will work. It should cover that a little more nicely. Gotta take care of the A and B buttons though, because those are the looser of the 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Next up, let's get the screen onto the thing. Hopefully my little jimmying and jangling around didn't mess it up too badly. We gotta make sure this ribbon cable stays above it and away, because we gotta fit this thing right over here. We gotta fit this thing right over here. And I think we could also do with a nice little cleaning of the speaker. Let me, you know what? I gotta find some compressed air. Give me a little bit. There's the little devil. And then we'll just slightly dust it a little bit. Might have to do a little bit more cleaning, but I think this will do. This will do nicely. All right. Let's make sure to remove this membrane right here. And it matches up nicely. Okay. Then turn you over, because there are no moving parts on the bottom. Make sure that it all lines up, making sure that the ribbon cable does not stay underneath that. Okay, we're good. We're good. I also need to keep an eye out for this on and off switch. You know what, let's put the, wait a minute. I have a feeling I'm forgetting something really important. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, let's focus on let's get the on and off switch first. Just make sure that's slotted in. And we've also got to attach those metal bits to the L and R buttons. This thing right here is a cover for that port. It's nice that they provided it too. Let's check something first. Yeah, this should be fine. Got it. And we're back to sitting. Sooner or later, I'm going to have to find that tri-wing bit that I've somehow managed to misplace in the midst of all this. I can start removing some items too. Let's remove these items first to show that they are being utilized. And this one right here. Not doing too bad on time. I thought I was going to take at least 2 hours. We get that out of the way. Excuse me. The L and R buttons. We need to find the metal pieces for those, and then we'll reference it accordingly. Oh, and you know what we also forgot? I also forgot to put this thing right here. Let's do that. Thank goodness I'm not committing to... I didn't commit to screwing it all up. And locking it all in. And this thing goes right here like that. Anything else I need to worry about? Just the screen at the end, but that's going to be the very end. And lift this over here. Ooh, careful, 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 careful. Okay. Tap, 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 tap. Slot you in. And slot you in because you're an important part of the piece. We'll keep you right over there. We've already got you assembled. The L and R buttons. Let's grab those. L and R buttons, and then reference it how the other one would do it. Okay. Now let's grab the other pieces. Taking care not to lose them. So this thing right here is connected to that, and it has the protrusion part outwards, like so. And then the other one careful. Other one right here. The protrusion sticks out just like this. There. Now that we got that going, let's see if we can't prop you on the inside of this thing. Let's see. I think you're like... Oh, darn it. Hold on. Gotta take this out. Like that. And then... What? Where'd it go? Oh, there it went. And then like that. And then like this. Nice little bit right there. And this is the right one. I know my lefts and rights. This is left, this is right. Okay, and then like that. There we go. The L and R button, well, hopefully it can stay while I'm attaching all this together. We also got to worry about the grips on the side too. Come on. I'm already scared of doing this. I'll just push you in accordingly. Oh hey, there's the tri-wing. I found it. Okay, well, we'll get this in accordingly, but I finally found the tri-wing. We'll keep it right over here. Nice and magnetic. Okay, that should be everything we need for the bottom. Speakers are everything else good. The button right here. Let's take care to handle it carefully. There will be a head for you, a tail for me. Okay, the L button works. The R button works. The power button should be connected to this thing right here. Like so. I mean, we could, there's probably better if we had some sort of adhesive to make sure it sticks. But it's good for now. There, that should be everything that we need for the front of that. And then we will place the, well, this thing right here. This thing right here into the front. Let's see. One Phillips screwdriver coming up. And then we put it into this spot right here. Well, before that, let's put the ribbon cable in first. Hold on. Ribbon cable to slot. It's already unnerving that I have to do this. Okay, ribbon cable slot in. Push the pieces right here. Push that in there. Oh, push that in there. Okay, that locks that in place. I think the difficult part is just getting the L and R buttons in there nice and snug. Okay, this it's already scary enough that it's not getting, the R one is not being snug into perfectly. Come on. There we go. There we go. There we go. There he goes. There he goes. Okay, that should be nice. Now we grab the other one. Okay, there's that one. Let's take a look at this one. I think the part that we need to worry about is right over here. Okay, there's that. And then there's this. Okay. And it all matched up accordingly with this one, now that we know that it's going there. Okay. And hopefully the groove on that one will match up with the L and the R. And somehow this thing, let's go put this thing right here. And then we slot you in just like that. Okay. Casing right here, battery right over here. Light over there, light over there. L is good, R is there, opposite. I think I've got it. I think I've got it. All right, confidence surging. Let's get you back up. Let's get you back up, assembled together. Oh. We'll take care to make sure that it's secure, that we don't screw it too tightly, because it's an important piece of work. And as much as I want to use the new screws, the old screws are still holding up nicely. The advisory on this thing when I was looking this up never said anything about not using new screws. Old screws will. Yeah, you get the point. Oh, this is stressful. This is very stressful. Dealing with the fact that I gotta deal with screwing things in. There's a problem. There is a big problem because this thing right here is missing, somehow missing screws. I don't think it's too much of a problem because we already have some spare screws right here, but imagine the fact that I didn't... Oh, wow. You know what I just realized? Those screws that I just put in. I gotta undo this. I don't think those were the right screws. You gotta move that back in there. The fun part is tearing it down. The difficult part is just putting it all back together. Story of my life. And make sure that I know we're using the Yep, I need to reassemble the screws together. Let's see. This is connected to that. These two screws right here, we gotta bind them together. Let's see. You are a 00, you are a tri-wing. I need to reassemble you specifically because you belong over here. that's secure. And then you are over on the other side. Right over, well, let's be sure first. Let's put you over here. I think you're more secure on this side. And I think this is where a screw is too. There. I really need to get a pillow. Now, we let that slot in on the bottom. Ensure the connections are good on the sides, especially with the lips right here. Switch out from the Phillips to the tri-wing. And we'll get the tri-wings in little by little. Treat it like a car. We'll tighten one side and tighten the others, so that we do not stress out the entire thing. And also, let's switch back to this one to get the this screw right here onto the bottom right there. There's that. Swap it out. Swap after that. Then we get this one. There we go. Not much in the way of talking with regards to this. That is a fly. Sorry, Mr. Fly. You're not welcome into my domain. Okay, let's see. Oh, whoa. There was already a screw in this one. What was I doing? What was I thinking? Okay. This one's right there. This tri-wing's right here. And whatever happened to the other tri-wing screw that I have in the spot, it's unfortunate. We'll put it right over here. I hate that we're missing one tri-wing screw. Or where could it have been misplaced? Everything was in this area, unfortunately. It's just sad enough that I don't have it anymore. And we could start stacking things inside here. Maybe it'll show up anytime soon. In the meantime, let's take up one of these. Let's take up one of these tri-wing screws and then just have it replaced like that. And taking care not to jerk it out, to jerk out the thing. Okay. There we go. We now have one tri-wing screw that is from the new parts. Of course, before we put the batteries and the casing inside and the game that somehow I managed to misplace, we gotta put this thing in here. And it goes just like this. Well, you know what? Let's use this one. I feel more confident with this one. Apparently, we could have also used this as the inside, but old tech still holds. And I'll put this thing on last because I have to work. It'd be more satisfying if it were fully complete. If it were something like that. Okay, what are we working with? Ooh, shiny. And let's take a brush to this thing. Just clear out the space right there. The first thing you want to do is open up the piece right here. adhesive off. And then we put the glass thing, if I could just remove it, on there. And 1, 2, 3, bam. We'll just put a little bit of pressure on the sides, ensure that the adhesive sticks. There. Everything's on there. Might have to do a little bit more on the R button, because that one's sticking a little bit. But I'm okay with this. I'm okay with the R button like that. Maybe I gotta remove the light on this thing. Let's test it out and find some batteries for it. Well, first and foremost, let's find that game that I was wanting to play with. Where are you? Where is that game that I decided to really wanted to play around with? I could have sworn that I had it somewhere. Hold on. There's always the alternative. And I found it. I thought I was gonna do some dodgeballing, but I guess this will have to do for a test run. All right. Let's get some batteries in it. Hopefully it all works to fruition. Battery here. And battery there. Okay. Please tell me it'll work. Probably need to adjust something on the back, but still. Uh-oh. That's no good. Hey, it works. Well, darn it. Looks like there might be some issue with regards to the connection. Let's try it again. That's strange. Everything's connected accordingly, but why is it not going beyond that screen? Therein lies the consequence of trying to do something cool with the old tech and switching it into new tech. Well, it's not like it's changed or anything. The only thing that's changed is the reshelling. Well, I had a feeling this was going to end up as a bust, but that doesn't mean I can't repair it off screen and off camera. Well, off live stream. I am happy though. I got this thing into a new shell, and I'm going to see what I can do to make sure that it works, for one thing. Because right now, it seems that it's stuck on that screen. It probably has to do with something with maybe the feed or something. I could, I hate doing this. Something from an old school console. I hate doing it though, because it might damage the pieces. Oh. That's a problem. Why is it doing it that? That's the worst thing that happened to this thing. It works! Oh my gosh, it works! Oh, this is already good enough. And the only downside is that there's no backlighting on this thing, so you can't really see too much into it. But it actually works. I'm so happy that it works. And as much as I want to play it on this screen, there isn't much of a backdrop on this thing. I'll probably use something akin to it, maybe to be able to cast this game onto my live streams. That's for sure. I need to check a few things first. Let's see if, you know, I think this save has some missiles. Gotta make sure that the R button works, because I have confidence in the L button, but not the R button. Okay. A. Okay, the R button works, but it's like a hair trigger. That's gonna really get used to. That is good, though. I am happy that this thing works. I guess I can officially call myself a modder. Just look at this thing. I reshelled it. Of course, there's some improvements that I'd like to put on it. For one, the backlighting on this screen would be nice to have, especially with if I wanted to consider tearing this down and then just making a giant diorama. Well, a rather small diorama, given the size of the parts. It is a good day, though. I am elated. I'm elated that I was able to do this. And we gotta make sure that the parts that we keep are secured together. And given the fact that we got some, excuse me, some spare parts to be used into this thing, it's lovely that this thing has some weight into it. Although it would be better if we kept the batteries out of it, since we're not going to be using it for some time. Makes for a nice collection. I'll probably clean up the old parts, that's for sure. Hey. I am genuinely happy that I was able to finish this thing. And I was able to keep some of the same parts. It's a little bit iffy on the screws, though. I might do a little bit more on that work. But I got it. And that's what matters. So, gotta get all the old parts into here. Maybe some of the reconstructed parts. No idea for that one. It's okay. And all the old parts will go into here to be used for a teardown at a later date. Oh. There we go. All right. And there it is. Out with the old and in with the new. Though I'll probably take out the old and then tear it down into another screen. And then come sooner or later, if I find a better screen for this one, I'll take the old screen, replace it with a new screen, and then use that as the tear off. Be a little bit more complete, that's for sure. Oh, wait. I forgot one important thing. Seeing that it is complete. It ain't consistent as always, but it is a nice touch. Showing where it comes from. Thank you, Extreme Rate, not sponsored. Sooner or later, I'm going to have to get the other ones repaired. Well, reshelled. This one was a fun trip. There was a lot of easier parts to work with. The L and R buttons weren't as iffy. And the new shell is a nice fit. I mean, these could stand to vibrate a little bit less, though. I think next up in the project will be to do its predecessor, its successor, about, I think, 2 or 3 years later. This one. Well, if I could just put the lights on, that's for sure. A lot more responsive, that's for sure, and the L and R buttons really bring it out. The L and R buttons right here. That will be reshelled into this thing right here. It is a black and gold reshell of an illustration of the Great Wave off Kanagawa. It is a black and gold. The buttons are yellow. Everything's black. And in a similar sense, and it'll be a lot easier to do the teardown for this one, I am going to be putting a new screen on this thing. Well, I probably need to remove it from the thing, but I have to be careful not to break it because the ribbon cable and all. I am putting, careful, I'm gonna be putting this thing on here. I have to be careful because there's some wires on here that's got me concernicus. There's a stray wire right there. But let's put this back in so gently, as if your mother was kissing it. And that's gonna be the new screen for this thing right here. All right. There. Yeah. It'll be the next thing I repair on the list. I'm gonna have to look up another tutorial. I was happy I was able to look up a GameBoy Advance tutorial. I think the GameBoy Advance SP is gonna be a bit more tedious for 2 reasons. It's compact size and possibly the L and R buttons. I think the L and R buttons are going to be the interesting factor. For 2 reasons. 1, the size, and 2, how the rebounding mechanism for this one is. Not bad for about an hour's worth of streaming. Definitely getting that out of the way. You know what? It's a curiosity. I do have a little bit over. I could probably do something else aside from just console reshelling. And I've already shown in a TikTok that I wanted to do a Pokemon single-player trading card game. With that said, I've also posted what I had grabbed from the GameStop that I went to for the trading card that was set up for my whatever HighKey had sent over for appraisal. I think it would be a good time to focus on this thing. Make for a good mascot. So let's not go too blind on it. Plus, I think I need scissors. I need some honest to good scissors to get rid of this thing. Or maybe not. Let's just shift it oh so slightly that allows it to slide itself off, and then do the same with the bottom. And this little mascot right here is going to be just standing and then putting his, because in recent games you could tell if the Pikachu is a male or female based on the shape of its tail. In this case, this Pikachu is a he, because the tail is jagged. Oh, that's interesting. Surprisingly, I was half expecting instructions to be just in this, but I guess the instructions are not. Okay. First up, A1, A1, A1. A14, A16. And we have A1, A2. And these are... Let's see. We gotta do with A1 first. This A2 is next. So, A1, 4. This is just creepy. This is just creepy too. This is supposed to be its front. Looks like its butt. And then this one right here is supposed to be its back where we get the stripes. Alright, let's not lose our lifelines. So A1, 4. And then A1, 6. No need to worry about not snapping these together because I think... Okay, I think this goes right here. This is supposed to be his cheekies. Cheeky, cheeky, cheeky. And then the A11 is his... looks to be his eyes. I gotta assemble this one. Maybe I should change the hashtags to include Pikachu in this. But the eyes go right over here, slotted in like that, I think. Or is it the wrong way? Oh, maybe it's like this. No, never mind. That's supposed to be like this since there's two slots on the side right there. Yeah, this just looks straight up creepy, but look in the front. We do not have the thing over there, his eyes. We have to put stickers on there. Now, A15. A15 is this piece right here. And then we put it like that. Well, if we could just get it to go in. And then the 2 and the 3. The 3 goes to the top. Codus. And the 3 goes to here. So this. And then look at this eyeless Pikachu. The kind where the sclera is just terrible. Let's put some eyes on you. This is the part where you would usually get forceps for this thing, but I don't have the luxury of a nice touch. So we're gonna have to do it delicately. And then... In the land of the blind, the one-eyed Pikachu is king. Now let's get the other one. Something grabbed a hold of my hand. You only give one little chance. And then put you on there. And there we go. There's the eyes. And then the sticker. Apparently there's supposed to be a sticker on the bottom. And then we've got the lip right there. Okay. There we go. All right. There. Now we have the head of the Pikachu. Right. Let's get the body. The A1, 8, A7. This is the front. This is the back. Take care not to lose too many pieces. Okay. Alright, Pikachu. There's the front, there's the back. And we have to get A2 13 and A2 14. This looks like an important piece. We're going to keep this right here. So A2 13 and A2 14. Just snap. Take care not to lose pieces while we're on the process, because that was supposed to be for this thing right here. Okay. And then, okay, let's make sure that this is the smaller of the two. Is this the smaller of the two? Yeah, that's the smaller of the two, and this is the larger of the two. If I could just get it in there. There we go. There's the back of the Pikachu. And now, we gotta get this thing right here. The A210 and the A215. Uh-oh. We have a problem. Oh, wait, hold on. This is the 10, and this is the 15. Okay, I am not. I am not concerned too much. And then this thing gets slotted into here, like so, and then the 9-piece gets slotted like this. Hold up. We now have the tail. If we really, make sure not to lose the tail. And the last piece, the sticker, to flush that would be right over here. Alright. Look at it carefully, the sticker is like this. And then we flush it like so. Could have flushed it a little bit better to hide the yellow on this one, but I got it. And then this goes like that. And we can rotate it and make it funny accordingly. Could even have it start right here. Okay, let's get his feetsies on. Okay, if we look at it carefully, the left one is 11 and the right one's 12. Meaning the one towards me is 12 and the other one's 11. Doot, doot. All right. I mean, you sound a little bit different. I mean, if there was a way to disassemble you from what you usually are and then just put a button that makes you say Pikachu, it's nice. But we are all done. C'est finit, completado. You're going to be our little mascot for the Pokemon trading card game. Although I don't think I'll be starting just with you just straight. I still have the choice of becoming a Pokemon trainer, but I won't be doing the whole Ash thing where the early bird gets the worm, or in this case, the Pokemon. Some little improvements here. The sticker could be adjusted a little bit better, but nice touch. Next up, Stardew Valley Saturday. I guess I'm gonna be busy with rehearsals and trying to memorize my lines because my performance is in May. It's a nice little happy bit. And just like that, I did it. It's so bright though. Hold on, let's see if I can just dim it a little bit. There we go. Looks just like it. All right. Quite happy about this. I get to say goodbye, everybody. See you guys Saturday.